Hey guys, this is DFS Chan. Um, Welcome back to the video. Um, can you guys hear me okay? Maybe? Okay. Hopefully this is okay because I'm recording myself and there's nobody I'm talking to really interacting with. So anyway, so this video I'm going to be talking about today's LCS and LEC DFS slate. So here I'll share my screen. We're gonna go through this together. I feel like that's kind of what was missing yesterday as to how I came to the conclusions on Hanwha Life was the worst underdog to back yesterday, and I was correct in that regard. I know I was not correct that Sandbox was gonna be the with a higher kill upside. I know the metric supported that, but it did not end up being that case, as Hanwha Life really just played on the faster side as an underdog who did not have any motivation or reason to play in that game because they're not in the playoffs. So they just gave up a lot of deaths to Afrika, so it kind of backfired against us if you played Sandbox long stack. But if you played Afrika and then KT, I told you guys that the KT could be a good underdog to back yesterday. And they happened to be because they won. They beat Sandbox. So if you played Afrika KT, props to you. Obviously, I was bullish on the my bullish stance yesterday was that KT or Hanwha Life, wasn't gonna win. And for League of Legends DFS, you often have to take a stance like that if you want to maximize your profit. So with that in mind, I'm going to go through today's slate on the LCS and LEC games, which will occur over the span of 2 days. So I'm going to share my screen here, if you can see that okay. So here I've just started analyzing this slate. So I'm just going to let you in my brain as to how I'm thinking about this slate and what I do when analyzing this slate. So LCS and LEC slate. So the first game on the slate that happens tonight at 6 o'clock, I believe, is Immortals versus Dignitas. So these are the two teams, in the playoffs for the LCS in North America. So I'm just gonna go through how I look at this. So first, my first thoughts are that just based on my eye test, I know Dignitas actually has been in better form. So I'll just make a note, mental note, better team as of recent compared to Immortals. And I know it's a close matchup in terms of the odds. So I'm just gonna kind of just call it even odds in my head because I feel like Dignitas, it has been a better team just based on my eye test, but I'm just going to go ahead and look at the metrics. So here, the sites that I often use is called Oracle Elixir. So here, as you can see, it's oracleelixir.com. Here you can go to teams. And then you can go to, let's see, LCS. So it would be under North America. And then you would go to LCS 2021 summer. And then you can see like since June 3rd to August 1st, all the stats that these teams have accrued. So our matchup is Dignitas and Immortals. So here, what I usually look at first is the combined kills per minute ratio metric that I often talk about, CKPM. So I would just sort by this, and then let me do this so that you guys can see better. So Immortals, let me see, all games and then July games. What I usually do is I look at the combined kills per minute for all of their games they played for the span of the entire summer split, and then July games to see if they have any tendencies as of recent that they have changed. So all games combined kills per minute, Immortals is 0.77, and then Dignitas is 0.84, as you can see here. And then I'm gonna see July games to see if they're are any major changes in kill upside, how fast they've been playing. So Immortals has 0.79 plus 0.85 for Dignitas. So I would just add these up just so that I have a combined kills per minute for the actual matchup. So it would be, my math is not that great. So let's see, 6-1, 1.64. So yeah, so as you can see, both teams comparatively have been playing faster in July games. So that's a good sign for DFS purposes. So that's one metric that I look at. And then just to analyze the actual matchups, I'm going to go back to June just to see the entire summer split statistics. So here, this is what I talked about yesterday, the jungle control. It talks about average share of games total jungle creep score. So here I would just sort by it and then see the Immortals has a superior jungle control percentage than Dignitas over the span of the entire summer split. So I'm just going to make a note that Immortals has a plus, here's the jungle control percentage, 1.1% for all games. And then for July games and on, let's see what the jungle control percentage advantage goes to. Dignitas 0.1%. So as you can see, like it kind of correlates to my eye test, what I was talking about, how Dignitas has been a better team as of recent compared to Immortals. So I definitely have a metric that supports my eye test determination. So let's go through other metrics. So you can see here like a lane control percentage as to, during the laning phase, which happens, more than happens within the first, like, let's say 15 to 20 minutes of games, as to whether they dominate their individual, counterparts on the other team. So as you can see, this is very similar. And then the Baron control rate, if you guys watch the game, Baron is a very important objective that gives teams buffs to be stronger and faster and everything. So yeah, so these are the statistics that I'll look at when I analyze the matchups. So yeah, feel free to contact me if you have any questions on how to analyze these. But if you scroll over each of these, like, acronyms, they tell you what these are, what these mean. So yeah, this is very helpful when analyzing the matchups. So yeah, so that's it for the Immortals versus Dignitas team analysis or matchup analysis. And then I can go through other matchups, but before that, I wanted to show you what I do when I'm analyzing how to choose players. So here on this website, they also have a players tab, and then you can go to Immortals or Dignitas, if whoever you want to look at. So you can see, like, for the entire summer split, it shows you their stats. So, the three of the most important metrics that I talked about yesterday are the kill participation percentage here, KP, and then KS stands for kill share percentage. And then I also look at these like goal difference at 10 minutes and experience at 10 minutes and everything here because, yeah, I mean, this tells you how well that they play in the individual laning phase. So that's obviously very important. So here, like, as you can see, like here, so Soligo, their mid laner, who is not gonna start because they only played 3 games for that reason. I mean, he obviously sucks in the individual laning phase. So as you can see, obviously, yeah, I mean, that tells you how good of a player they are in the laning phase, but also in team fights for DFS purposes, these are probably even more important as to how much they participate in team fights, resulting in kills and assists, which obviously translate into points for fantasy purposes. And then kill share percentage. Usually this is, higher for carries, like, 80 carries and mid laners. But as you can see, like, if Dardoch is starting for Dignitas, which I have not looked at, which I'll confirm in Discord later, that you can see that he has a very high kill share, and that sometimes often translates into higher kill numbers, which obviously it's higher points for everybody that have a high kill share. So anyway, so that's how I look at the player stats. So let's go through the other 2 matchups here. Misfits versus Rogue. let me see if this is the right acronyms that the DraftKings is using. Maybe not. MSF, okay. And then RG. It doesn't really matter. You guys know what I'm talking about. So Rogue, deservingly, is a big favorite over Misfits. I know Misfits has been, up and down really throughout the entire split, and Rogue has been a very, very solid team, if not one of the best teams in the LEC, which is for the European region. So this slate basically combines the North American 2 games from LCS, which stands for North America, and then 1 LEC game from Europe. So let's just analyze for DFS purposes what here the statistics say. So this is for LCS. So I'm going to go over to LEC, Europe, LEC here, and then LEC Summer. So as you can see, it shows you the statistics for each team. And then let's see, Rogue, and I think it was, what was it? Misfits. So like I said, the first metrics that I look at is the combined kills per minute to kind of just look at the kill upside for each matchup. So let me pull this up, my notes. Here talks about all games, July games. I do think I am leaning in my head Rogue is going to win more than likely, because just based on the eye test, and Rogue has been a better team, like I said, throughout the entire split. They have been a more consistent team compared to Misfits. But all games, combined kills per minute is 0.81 plus 0.81. So they really play at the exact same pace over the span of the entire split. So let's see how that changes when it comes to only July games. So July games here, combines kills per minute. Misfits has been playing about the same, which is very surprising. That doesn't happen often that it's the same. 0.78 for Rogue. So they've been playing slower. So 0.62, 1.62, and then 1. My math is gonna great. Okay. So as you can see, they've been playing slower, or they're projected to be slower, I guess, in their more recent games. But let's look at their jungling control percentage to dive into the matchup analysis. So this is, what I'm really doing is just like a business or like a analytic or analysis model that I have developed over the years that have been helping me. Obviously, this is not the all in all analysis that I do, but this is a big chunk of it. And then I look at some other videos or highlights, from each game, and then also look at the actual composition of the rosters and each individual players and their tendencies. And some teams, for example, are weak against like a strong bottom lane teams. So obviously those are some market knowledge that I have just after having watched a lot of games over the years. But yeah, so but this is a big chunk of my analysis. So I think I'm glad that I can share this with you to see what I do every night, and hopefully that you guys can look at what I'm doing and then develop your own model as to how you think each player and each team will score, and hopefully that gives you the edge that you need to profit. So here, the jungling, going back to the analysis, Misfits and Rogue. As you can see, Rogue is dominant. So I guess this is for July games. So let's go back to the entire split. So that begins in June, sorry. Still, you can see that Rogue is more dominant in the jungle control percentage, which is 2.5% advantage. And then July games, you saw earlier that it is even more dominant. Let me pull it up. Rogue plus, what is this? 5.2%. So as you can see, like the jungle control percentage has increased for Rogue. So Rogue is definitely, has been a better team in terms of like controlling the map and controlling the jungle. And then you go through the laning phase. As you can see, Rogue still has the advantage here. And then that's for July game. So let me see if it was still dominant over the entire span of the summer split. Yeah, so as you can see, Rogue is superior on so many metrics here. So I'll just go through all of these and see if anything stands out. And obviously, and frankly, I mean, if you are also not only a DFS better, but if you are a better in general, like sports better, that bet on like props or matchups and everything, this is a very, very useful tool, because sometimes, even though Rogue is a heavy favorite, sometimes there is a tendency that Vegas doesn't know about, that Rogue does not focus on like a certain objective. Like here you see the dragon percentage. Rogue is actually behind Misfits. So it's a good derivative market analysis tool that you can use and bet on those props if you are a better. But I'll focus on DFS stuff right now. But if you have any other questions, on that betting side, let me know. And I used to, bet on those props all the time, but not anymore. And this is also good there are some prop-based DFS or fantasy sports websites. I forgot the name of it, but there are those. That if you need help with that, let me know as well. So yeah, I favor Rogue here. I'm inclined to favor Rogue, and as you can see, if you compare the combined kills per minute here compared to the LCS game that will happen tonight between Immortals and Dignitas, here you can see that the LCS game is actually faster and has a lot more kill upside compared to the LEC game here between Rogue and Misfits. So and the tendency and the pattern and the trend, rather, the trend is the right word, for July games and more recent games favors the LCS game to be more of a higher kill upside game. It's very close though, so I just feel like it's not much the big of an edge that I was looking for. That's how it was for the sandbox game today, but obviously it didn't work out. So for what it's worth, I'm just showing you how I measured the kill upside. So let's look into the last matchup of the slate, which will happen tomorrow night, Friday night. What better ways to spend your Friday night than watch a bunch of nerds going at it on the computers? So we'll see what happens there. Golden Guardians versus Cloud9. So I'm gonna just share my thoughts. I guess my eye test is that actually, even though C9 is a big, big favorite here, I've actually been watching Golden Guardians over the last month or so. And ever since they made some changes to their roster a month ago, they have been a really good team, in my opinion. And they have let's say, the potential to upset any elite teams, because the way that they play Golden Guardians is very aggressive. So obviously they like to take their chances, and that's really, frankly, the only way as a team filled with consisted of inferior talent to be able to beat these Goliath teams like in Cloud9. So I'm actually thinking in my head like Golden Guardians could definitely upset Cloud9 here, just based on my eye test and my, I guess, qualitative analysis. But let's see what the actual metrics say, and quantitatively, if that measures up, correlates with my analysis. I know Cloud9 is the biggest favorite on this slate, on a 3-game slate, but I'm actually skeptical of these odds at -600, because I definitely think Golden Guardians can beat Cloud9. So let's go back to this website that shows you the stats. And this is one of many sites that have these kind of stats, Oracle Elixir, and then I know like LOL GG or something like that. If you just type Google League of Legends statistics, and then it will show you all those statistics. So there are multiple websites like this, but I like this one because I've been using it for a long time. So LCS is what I'm looking for under North America here, and then Summer Split, and then Golden Guardians and Cloud9. So again, I'm gonna see what the kill upside might be. I'm actually thinking that it might be faster than the other ones, because Golden Guardians and Cloud9 tends to play fast. Cloud9 has been playing slower, on the slower side recently, so we'll see if the data back up my statement. So all games, 0.87, Cloud9's is 0.78. So 1.65, as you can see. So that's higher than the other ones that we just looked at, other matchups. And then let me look at the July games to see if there's any more, any pattern as to what they've been doing recently. Golden Guardians is 0.85. Cloud9 is 0.81. So that is 1.66. So overall, as a matchup, I mean, yeah, I mean it's a slight increase uptick in the kill upside and the pace of the game. Golden Guardians is actually decreased by 0.02, but that's minimal and that's not significant, I feel like. And then Cloud9's has actually gone up, so but it's still by 0.03. So yeah, these are all minimal increases and decreases for July games and more recent games. But as you can see, this is projected to be the highest and the fastest game, amongst all three games here. So let's go look at the actual matchup. Jungle control percentage for the entire split, and then compare that to the July games as well. So here, as you can see, C9 has been controlling the jungle control, jungle for a long much better than Golden Guardian, so 4.1%. And I'm expecting this to decrease only for July games because Golden Guardians has been playing much better since the roster swap. So let's see, jungle control percentages. Yeah, so C9 plus 2.6%. So as you can see, I mean, so I was correct. So I guess my eye test is correct that Cloud9 or Golden Guardians has been playing better as of recent. But still, you can see that Cloud9 has a superior jungle control percentage by 2.6% in July games. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, I feel like it's going to be a much closer matchup just based on that metric. And then I'm going to look at the other metrics later on. But for the purpose of, this video, I'm not going to take a look at all of those because that will take too much time. So yeah, as you can see here, I'll pull this up. Cloud9, I think they will win probably, but it's going to be a closer matchup. And frankly, I think Golden Guardians makes a very good GPP play, in my opinion. And then Misfits versus Rogue. I think Rogue has been a much better team than Misfits and more consistent team. So I'm pretty confident that Rogue will win. And obviously, Immortals versus Dignitas. I like Dignitas here, even though they're the underdog. I am not the kind of tout on other websites that only take favorites. I fully look at the metrics and the eye test, and I always take a stance as to really who I truly believe will win or more likely win. And here, as you can see, I don't agree with the Vegas odds. I know a lot of people, a lot of other League of Legends experts will back Immortals because they're the favorite. But as you can see, Dignitas has a better jungle control percentage, and then I'll look at the other metrics. But I like Dignitas even though they're the underdog. So that tells me, just based on the kill upside and everything, combined kills per minute metric, I like Rogue. Probably the best play, the most likely to win here, even though Cloud9 has a better odd for Vegas odds. So yeah. So anyway, I think Golden Guardians makes a very good GPP play. I don't think I'll have much Misfits in my opinion. I don't think they have a very good shot to win or upset Rogue. Immortals, yeah, I think they have a very good shot to win as a favorite, but I prefer Dignitas. So it's gonna be a very interesting both for cash and GPP contests. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I put a lot of emphasis on the combined kills per minute to decide who to long stack versus short stack. So yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know. But yeah, so this is what I go through. And then, like I said, if you and then, for pricing purposes for DK, yeah, I mean, I look at each player's, like I said, kill participation percentage. Here, like I mentioned this earlier, and then kill share percentage, and then how they fare in the individual laning phase. So yeah, so I think that's all I have so far for this slate. If I have any time tonight, I'll have to go pick up my son. But if I have any time, I'll record or share my thoughts on the LCK slate that happens tomorrow morning. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, if you have any questions on this slate, I know it's coming up in about two hours or so. That's when I'm recording it. So let me know if you guys have any questions before that. But I will post any confirmed starters and all that as well. So, all right. Well, good luck, everybody. And again, I will be on Discord. So let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.